Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here with Pondcast episode 34. I'm Steve. You can't see Anthony right now, but he's over there. And his wife, Shannon, is joining us tonight as a special guest. And we've also got good friend Steve Rosen, who you saw last month, and he'll be joining the show tonight as well. And it looks like we've got some kids with us. We've got one of Steve's, and Anthony and Shannon's daughter, Madalena, is hanging out in the turtle room tonight too. So, Anthony, let's get started. Where do you want to go?
Well, hi guys. It's great to be here. Another episode. I can't believe it's episode 34 already. That's awesome, isn't it?
Time flies, man. Time flies.
34 times we got together and talked about our scaly friends and what they mean to us. Of course, I'm talking about Steve Rosen right now.
Oh, that's precious.
Oh, man.
Look, you want to meet your future mother-in-law? Hey, look, she's waving to you. Look. Dylan.
He's got two to choose from.
Guy.
That's true.
Does he like him younger or older?
He just likes women.
It's like his dad.
Hey, now.
You don't have to yell, honey.
Hey, now.
I was just kidding. I think you were yelling.
Don't.
It's okay, though. But I think it's probably pretty obvious what we're doing here. I have my beautiful wife with me tonight so that she can talk a little bit about something that's near and dear to all of our hearts, which is trying to maintain a relationship when you are obsessed with something that's a little unorthodox. It takes a little more time than you're probably expect, and is kind of difficult to explain to your friends when you're hanging around the water cooler, if you're the significant other of somebody who loves turtles. So, Shannon's here. She's probably going to poke fun at me a little bit, and I hope that with some of the conversation, some of the viewers at home will be able to write in some questions that they might have, and let us know maybe some things that they think, or ask some questions about our experiences, but I'm sure they're similar to what some other people have gone through. And I'm sure, I already know that Steve Rosen's going to chime in with some good stuff, because I think we have really similar situations with as far as our significant others and sort of the challenge that our hobby poses for them, and some of the challenges that they bestow upon us, especially with making sure that we sell the animals that we produce and things like that. Do you want to say anything about that?
Well, we don't sell anything, so there's really nothing to say.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for watching the podcast. Really nothing to say. So happy we were able to join us, and we'll see you for episode 35. No, seriously, come on. Think about all the times that I don't sell them and how you feel about that.
Well, I guess it's just, no, see, I'm told that we're going to sell them, that these are worth $5,000 and we can sell them. And then when they actually.
Whoa.
You can Google us right now. Anyone out there who wants to rob us, I have cameras and guns and brothers who are even bigger than me.
And you have two vicious dogs.
Vicious dogs. Huge, 300 pounds each. Right.
Yeah, so we don't sell them because everything that ends up happening is something that we can't sell. So we don't actually end up gaining any money. We just keep spending $375 on an electric bill every month.
Is that what it is? I purposely looked at the bill.
I don't think it's that high.
Okay, it was close to $400 one winter. That I'm not lying.
For the whole winter?
I'd say on an average, it's like $270
American?
a month.
Wow.
American.
USD?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to pull my spouse.
You won't.
Hey, hon, what was the highest electric bill we've had?
I love how neither of us know.
$284, she says.
280. So we got to beat because we were 400.
We still burn coal and kill dinosaurs. We don't care.
When you put it like that, it makes me feel bad.
You guys are sophisticated out there.
We're big time. We're near New York, so everything out here costs more.
It's true.
So yeah, I think sometimes it can be tough for a significant other of a person who's obsessed with turtles to understand. I think people see like Andrew Hermes of Arizona Tortoise Compound, or our good friend Chris Leone. They're both our good friends. Of Garden State Tortoise, or other people who seem to make a living from producing healthy animals and having that reputation as like a good place to go to when you want to get your first pet baby turtle or tortoise or whatever. But for those of us who can't do that to that level, I think it could be tough sometimes to argue our point. We spend so much time, so much money, put so much effort into doing something, and it's not bringing money. Because to us, we don't do it for the money. So, but maybe when we were dating, and I was trying to make her understand why I was so interested in it, maybe I did tell her how much the turtles were worth. So if you breed this, will be good. So definitely my fault.
So you were and are now not trying to still explain this phenomena, because I'm still explaining and it falls on deaf ears.
You're still explaining the phenomena?
I just assume that anytime we get something that it's only going to cost us money, we're not going to make any money off
That's
of it.
pretty fair, yeah. That's a fair judgment call, yes.
I mean, I do appreciate the fact of like the spider tortoises. Like, I really love their cause and I think they're cute, so it doesn't bother me as much. But the other, I mean, and it's just because I like tortoises, though.
Right. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, so you mentioned the spider tortoises. There's an interesting story. When we were, what were we at the time? Were we engaged or dating?
When we got them?
No, when we had the conversation.
When you got them.
We had a conversation about kind of what the heck I was doing with my life, because not only was I a grown man who was obsessed with pet turtles.
Living in his parents' house with sponge painted walls. Yeah.
Wow, they didn't have to hear that.
Too late.
The walls were painted with sponges before it was my room, and I covered the walls with things, so you couldn't even tell. It doesn't even matter. Why'd you
With
do
movie
that?
posters. That's almost worse.
Okay, fair enough. If I can remember what my point was before I just got verbally kicked.
Do you guys want me to come out there? Because I don't want to get involved in like a domestic or anything, you know.
Yeah, well, you will. You will. It'll be great. We'll make you regret it immediately.
Well, you know, I expect nothing less.
So yeah, well, we were talking about, I had like some albino animals, and I had some animals that were like pets from before, and like, you know, this and that. And I had been talking about things like spider tortoises and other things, and how I wanted to keep animals that that really needed it and could benefit from, like, you know, thoughtful keeping, and someone who's going to like do the right thing, take care of them in the right way and stuff like that. And she basically called me out on it in front of a couple of my friends, which she likes to do. If you didn't hear the sponge painted walls comment just a second ago. Yeah, it was a really earth-shattering moment for me, where I kind of had this like come to God moment in my turtle keeping, where I realized what I should be doing, and kind of clearing up things that I was wasting my time on. If that makes sense.
And simultaneously, you decreased revenue and increased spending. Because that's what conservation is.
Right. I thought you were Go ahead, Steve.
Fairness. I mean, come on, Shannon. You know precisely what that's about. How many shoes you have?
Right now, and that's the thing. I do understand now. See, I think what's most frustrating to me, let me say this. What's frustrating is that he gets so many things donated and people that give him things like friends that say, hey, hold on to this. So he's getting all these extra fun things that he enjoys. And I can't afford to go buy a pair of shoes because we don't have an income coming in to support my shoe hobby. But he has a lot of friends and connections that say, here, take my 17 turtles to hold on to.
Well, that's not my fault. I mean, if you want to email the person who wrote a book about shoes and get to know them and be like, hey,
I might actually read that book.
Yeah, the history of pumps, by so-and-so, and they happen to own a shoe warehouse, and you get in tight and, and then they want you to model some shoes or like wear them and tell them what you think, that sort of thing. That's up to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's up to me.
Don't hate the game or the player in this case, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Steve,
one time I had read a journal entry that I believe you wrote, Shannon. I believe I did. And it was talking about your dating and his turtle hobby, and it was very eloquently written. I was rather impressed.
Thank you. I wrote.
You bought into it. I mean, truth be told, it's probably the biggest scam in the whole wide world, but, he got you.
Well, but that
got a turtle life.
I'm pointing with a pair of pliers. Forgive me. Workshop here. But no, that points to a different piece too with marriage in general, and that you got to fake it till you make it a little bit. She did write a wonderful piece about kind of our relationship around turtles and how she's kind of come full circle. We used to catch turtles when we were dating, and then there was a time where there was a little bit of friction in our relationship because of turtles, and then she's done so much to try to support me, and it's amazing. But like with any marriage or anything in marriage, right, there's always like a struggle there too, constantly, and there's sometimes where she can laugh at me and things like that about the turtle stuff and all that, but like all in all, she's pretty amazing, which is why I wanted to have her on. But my point is, we still now, to this day, have all sorts of disagreements, usually positive, about this stuff and what we're doing and that sort of thing.
Well, I think it's difficult. Like, I don't know what you guys do in your spare time, but most people have one or two hobbies that they do. So I'm just trying to think of, I'm sorry, there's like a gnat flying around. Can we just address that?
I'm trying to figure out, is it one gnat or is it multiple gnats?
So Anthony plays in 2 basketball leagues, and he also works late, I'd say an average of 1 to 2 nights a week. And on top of the turtle stuff, almost every weekend there's always something, whether it's like a talk somewhere or a trip to Pennsylvania or a reptile show. So for me, it's I do support the turtle stuff, but I also have to support a bunch of other different things, which can be very frustrating at times.
This is starting to feel like couples therapy.
No.
And I like it. I'm going to allow it. I think we're going somewhere here.
Do you want me to go, Dr. Phil?
You can, yes. I expected you to. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is with Anthony, he has a huge fear of missing out. And I don't know if the same thing is for you guys when it comes to the turtle hobby, but
FOMO.
Let me give you a prime example. So he insisted he had to go to Arizona a couple years ago. Okay.
Yes.
Because
you remember this, guys?
book was being released. Okay. So he had to book.
It's been released. Continue, please.
Okay. Well, he went to this wonderful thing in Arizona. Didn't answer my phone call.
That sounded sarcastic. Arizona, the TTPG conference is a wonderful thing. Don't take her sarcasm
The book
seriously.
was never released. So he
on time.
Trickery. It was I was tricked and I was swindled into thinking that
The book has been released. Available on Amazon.com.
So it's always this fear of missing out. He thought he was going to miss that. He has a whole list of things that he wants to do in the next 6 months.
Whole slew of things. Whole shoebox full of them.
Very frustrating at times.
Well,
Yeah.
that was a Home Alone quote, by the way.
So tell me about the El Chapo story. How
Okay, so a really good example of that was on my 30th birthday. I was already having a midlife crisis because I was turning 30. I was super pregnant. I was sick.
Wait, is this an El Chapo story?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
I was laying in bed, sick, home, fat, pregnant, swollen feet, everything.
You were not fat, honey.
And in comes my husband. I'm expecting flowers or something to cheer me up. And he tells me to come out in the hallway, and there's a tortoise crawling on the floor with a card attached to its back. And he tells me that, what was that? Someone donated it?
No. It wasn't, the tortoise wasn't for you. I just wanted, it was like a ring bearer. He was just there to bring you the card.
Right. So just magically, we just got this tortoise out of nowhere. So he did his usual, oh, no, I'm going to give it to somebody. So without any hesitation, I texted my friend who has a young son and said, do you want a tortoise? She said yes, and I got rid of it the next day. Because I just, the business part of me is just trying to help him out. I don't think his plan was to get rid of that tortoise, but we did.
I'm embarrassed. I had a card for her. I was bringing a tortoise home that I was going to get rid of. I knew she was going to be mad at me, so I tried to lighten the mood.
Were you really going to get rid of this tortoise? Were you really, Anthony?
No, yeah, it was a Russian tortoise. I don't want that thing. Not that there's anything wrong with Russian tortoises, everyone. I just have enough going on to just start keeping Russian tortoises all of a sudden.
On the flip side, he did with a leopard tortoise last year, which I was so pissed about. He drove like an hour out of the way.
There's kids watching you.
Sorry,
she was very
so
upset.
Angry.
Agitated, yes.
Agitated. Again, super pregnant with our second child. And
I know timing. I'm a master of timing.
Lenny, our leopard tortoise, is my favorite tortoise that we have, and I refuse to let him get rid of him.
I've tried.
So, I mean, there is, times where
You might need a girlfriend. Just
I've
saying.
been working on that. Exactly. You have to do that, right? You have to, everything's here for a reason. There's no pets. They all have jobs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been looking for a girlfriend for Lenny. The problem is leopard tortoises are really expensive, right? Can I get an amen? No?
Yeah. Sexual.
Adult female. People know how an adult female leopard tortoise is, and they don't want to go cheap.
I think leopards, anything that you can tell a gender outwardly, are expensive.
Yeah.
what I do acknowledge is that I think that us turtle women, wives, should appreciate the fact that our husbands aren't out at,
Hey, honey, listen up.
strip clubs and bars and, poker leagues and things like that. Like, if I need my husband, he's in the basement playing with his turtles. And
I haven't
think
been in a
that,
poker league for years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I don't know.
What's a poker league?
There's poker leagues, right?
There's poker league.
There are.
There's a league
There
for
are.
You get team jerseys in that league?
Steve, I'm sorry. I forgot about your poker league.
That was a long time ago. When I was in college, I played some Texas Hold'em
Exactly.
on a regular basis.
Anyway.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. We all know who in this group is a poker league.
Steve, I picture you like Will Ferrell in what's that movie? The other guys. What's his name? Gator?
LRB, Little River Band. Huge fan.
But anyway, I think it's great that you guys are not doing anything bad. You guys are pretty much doing things that are good, like conservation and helping zoos and all that fun stuff that you guys do. But I think that we're lucky in a lot of ways too.
What's it like for you at work? Like this isn't a loaded question. Like, I don't ask this normally really, but like, do you ever just look up after you're sitting at your desk and somebody says something that leads into the fact that your husband has turtles? Who knows what? Like
yeah. So like if we go to Hamburg for like a reptile show, like, oh, what did you do this weekend? Like, Oh, I went to a reptile show with my husband, and like,
Then the questions start.
yeah, then that's when it's kind of like, what is a reptile show? What are you doing there? All those.
What is that like? I mean, for someone who actually like takes pride in their appearance and cares about stuff, because obviously we don't care about anything. We like turtles, so we don't care what people think of us. We're the guys who wear the Speedo to the beach, even though we're not in Speedo shape. So that's just,
Yes.
that's who we are as people, because we like turtles. We don't care what people think. So what if someone who does care what people think a little bit, what's that like for you? Embarrassing sometimes?
I mean, there's gonna be things that I do that are embarrassing. Like
So
you went to see New Kids on the Block with me in concert.
That's right. Do it again.
10 demerits.
I want you guys to know that I was like in the 4th row at New Kids on the Block, looking
Trying
like
not to block everybody's view.
this wasn't like 10 years ago. This was like me now at New
Right.
Kids on the Block, like 2 years ago, and I was like,
when you went to that.
I was standing up singing the songs, and I tell you right now, they were like standing on a platform, and we were like eye to eye, like right next to each other. Those guys went backstage afterwards and said, like, "Did you see that huge lumberjack who was singing our songs? What was that about?" Because then, you know what? I'm there.
That was weird.
I'm there. I might as well just,
Might as well get into it.
yeah, let it happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think you just. But the point is though that you did agree that you're embarrassed talking about it, and that hurts my heart a little bit.
No, I'm not embarrassed about it.
We're going back to couples therapy.
I'm not.
No, I mean like right now we're going. To that point.
I don't think I'm embarrassed by it. I don't think I'm embarrassed by it.
Kevin Minto and Steve Enders want to know: can I still dunk a basketball?
I don't think we have enough time to talk about his basketball right now. That's another couple therapy session that we're going to need.
I don't even know what that means.
This person you see right here is not the person that's on the basketball court.
I have another story we have to talk about.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Right here. Best in Show trophy from the New York. Thank you.
Tortoise
From-
Society.
From the New York Turtle and Tortoise Society annual Turtle and Tortoise Show. I think this is like their 40th annual or 39th or something like that. So it was amazing. Brought some really cool turtles, one of which was hatched by Steve Rosen, and that was really the one that won us the gold. And it was an awesome experience, but maybe Shannon could tell a little bit about how that went.
Sure. So it was June.
It was June-ish, yeah. I
Okay,
think it's
so
June.
it was around June, and it happened to be very hot and very humid this day. And yet again, I was super pregnant and had a toddler with us.
Anybody noticing a theme here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm noticing a pattern.
I'm an idiot. That's the theme.
Line.
Anthony said that we were going to go somewhere for a couple hours to show off turtles. So
Couple hours.
he said it was at a college. So I dressed in pants and a t-shirt because it was in a college. And I figured there'd be air conditioning in this college on a hot and humid day. So we get there to find that it's actually outdoors. There aren't any trees, so it's in direct sunlight. We have no food, drinks, anything, just enough for our daughter. And we were there for maybe 6
I can just see Anthony fighting Cambria for the sippy apple juice.
I told her that. I ate her macaroni and cheese tonight. She was so mad at me. Like, get out of here, kid. Get your own.
Bully.
I got the blue box blues, kid. Back off. So yeah, so
My wife just said she would drive away and leave me there if that was her. So,
so we were there for 6.5
I'd say
hours.
6 to 7 hours. And at one point, I just went in the car and told him, "You better be in the car in the next half hour." And he didn't listen. And I seriously never in my life have contemplated leaving him in another state and just driving home. But at that moment, I really thought I was going to leave. But he came in the car with the gold, and
That's right. She cares about results.
yeah.
I delivered.
I had already said, like, if he didn't come home with the best in show, that he wasn't coming home.
I think she actually said that to me, which is so hilarious. We're not like.
You actually said that to the judge, and that's how it went down.
I don't know if you guys ever watched Friends and saw the episodes where Monica was really, really competitive. My wife reminds me of that. Not that I'm a Friends guru or anything, but that's just one of the most competitive females I've ever saw. And you have to go to something fictional because there's no one alive that's as competitive as Monica Geller or my wife. But yeah, so I got so nervous because right towards the end, they're giving out like tons of people are getting ribbons, and it's like, okay, let's bring up the third place ribbons, and it's like all white ribbons, and there's like 12 people, and then let's do the red ribbons, and there's 15 people, and then and the blue ribbons are next. And I'm like, if I just get a blue ribbon right now, and I'm walking to the car, and there's 10 other people walking by with blue ribbons, my wife is literally going to leave me. We would have left, like, you know, I just brought my red ear slider or something. Not there's anything wrong with red ear sliders or Russian tortoises again, everyone. But like, if that's what I was packing, I would have been sleeping on the street that night. I'm just saying. So thank you, Steve Rosen, for the Best in Show trophy. That was all you.
That's how I saved your marriage.
That's how you.
Unknowingly.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
It's an interesting twist on things.
Oh, that's so good. So good. My wife wants to call you Duff from now on. I hope you don't mind.
She calls me whatever she wants.
Do you
But
know,
she's cooking. Don't call me late.
do you know? Just don't call me late for dinner. Do you know? Do you know Duff Goldman?
No.
She thinks you look like Duff Goldman. You said that.
Is this true?
Hey, why are you shaking your head? Now you're embarrassed.
No.
Hey!
You don't really, but kind of.
Not really. He looks kind of.
You have to see him in action. Is there an action photo, Steve? Do you have an action photo of Duff Goldman? No?
Like, oh, I'll find
Yeah, I can really see it. You really look like Duff Goldman.
Okay.
You don't really. I mean, he's definitely more attractive.
Whoa, hey!
There you go.
So I guess Steve, my question to you guys are, what are your wives?
Honey, not
what,
Steve and Steve. It's Steve squared.
Steve, what are your wives' biggest complaints?
About turtles?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, I know what they used to be. I don't know necessarily what they are now.
He's got it like that, huh?
I mean, I've got 4-eyed turtle eggs in the incubator, and she's absolutely stoked about that. So that's really cool. Although I remember when I would have been December of 2010, brought the 2 Barber's Map turtles home as hatchlings and didn't tell her those were coming home. And so it was a surprise.
Yeah.
My head was rolling down the stairs.
Terrific.
So what are your fears of actually, like, I guess you too, like, what are the fears of actually telling us that you're bringing something home instead of just...
Confrontation, knowing you're wrong already, but not being able to stop yourself. I think is
Depends on what it is. Like, I mean, space is a little tight right now, and so like almost anything right now would be like a problem just because of space. But it's one of those things where once we're able to have a little more space, I could probably get away with bringing home some Spanglaria or Cicalia, and she wouldn't have a problem with it at all.
Because she likes them. That was another thing I wanted to talk about too. I think all of us who live with significant others and keep animals, at a certain point, the collection also starts to move towards what the significant other is interested in, because you want them to buy into what you're doing. Not always. I mean, I've pretty much everyone knows my affinity for the Geoemida genus, the black-breasted leaf turtles, and Shannon does not love them, but we have added a lot of tortoises because she loves them. So can you guys speak to anything like that on your end?
My wife, honestly, she's pretty open at this point. She knows that the major spending is over. When this first started, when she was pregnant, another pregnant story, I got some diamondback terrapins that Anthony helped pick out, by the way.
That's right. Meant a lot.
A person from California, and she found out what I had spent on them, and that almost caused a divorce right there. Like, flat out. So she has since gotten over that, I think. Who knows? Maybe she's in a poker league. I don't know.
So for her, the biggest complaint is the spending?
I don't know. Hey, hon, what's your biggest complaint about this turtle hobby that we're in?
Well,
When they were in her son's bedroom. Yes, then there was that. But there were...
Wait, what's in the son's bedroom?
The macros I had, they were in his bedroom.
Macros as in ornate diamondback terrapins.
Yes. Yes.
Macros pelota.
No, she was not a happy camper.
Yeah, that's one of the there are a few off limits things. Like all of them are downstairs now. We at one point had a tank that used to sit back there in that corner. Raised some hatchlings there. They're all downstairs though now, and so I think that's going to be one of those things. Is everything is down in our living room, dining room right now, and when we get to move, we'll probably have maybe one or two setups up in the main part of the house, and everything else will be like in the basement. So there won't be ever be anything like in a bedroom. Which I guess I can understand, but the white noise of a filter running would actually be kind of nice.
Exactly my point. It was supposed to be soothing. And it backfired in my face like a hand grenade.
Whatever you guys have to tell yourselves to sleep at night.
All right. I was telling my
room basement was actually my wife's my wife's idea of a playroom. And she'll laugh with her second husband about that one day. I'm sorry. I had to say it that way. I'm going to pay for that.
Testify in favor of the highest bidder, just so you know.
I'm sorry. But there is an interesting story with us, too, because when we first moved into this house, I had animals upstairs. It was just the two of us, 3-bedroom house, and we had basically extra rooms. We had like a turtle room upstairs because there was nothing else going on. But I couldn't cool things as much as I wanted to. What was the issue that I had? I just wanted stuff down here because there's more space. It's the basement. It's better. And she said no for a long time because she really wanted this to be a playroom when we had kids. Obviously now it can't really be converted to a playroom for kids unless we did a lot of getting rid of turtles and getting rid of stuff. But then finally she let me take the spider tortoises down here, probably because she likes those. And she had like a no water rule. So finally I begged her and had her allow me to put a stock tank down here for some water turtles. And when I was going to fill it up, I had the hose running in from outside.
Oh no.
I left it for a bit. You see where this is going.
Oh no.
And it came downstairs and the hose was outside the stock tank and the entire ground was flooded everywhere. I'd never been more apologetic, I don't think, in my entire life.
At least it's a floor drain, right?
What's that?
There's a floor drain in your basement, though, right?
No.
Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah, there's been a lot of basement floodings over the years here. For the longest time, I was totally just like her. No water turtles are just a pain. Water changes, stinky water, green water, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. And then I got these macros. And maybe 2-3 months ago, I walked in the room and splash. And I'm thinking, oh no, a tank broke. Well, me being the dummy that I am, I'll admit that sometimes, I had left a siphon in there. And apparently there was enough water in that siphon that had taken that 40 gallons of water and drained it all onto the floor. Every last drop.
Oh,
And I couldn't figure out what was going on. It didn't dawn at me like at that moment. But my wife decided that I don't remember how it went down. I probably was mad, but she ended up cleaning it up. So,
wow.
I know, right?
That was like the M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end of the story. I did not see that coming.
No, I didn't see it coming either.
I thought I was in rare company because
You know why she cleaned it up?
What's that?
Did you want to know why she cleaned it up?
Oh, this is good. This is lady stuff that we don't know.
Oh, here it is.
She cleaned it up because if you had cleaned it up, she was probably just going to have to clean it anyway because you probably wouldn't have cleaned it as good as we would.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
Drop the mic.
Oh, them are fighting words.
That hurts. That hurts me too. That hurts me for you.
That's
That hurts me.
right in the Y chromosome right there. That hurts my soul.
It's you guys are upset because we're right.
It's true.
Well, you know, we're the king of the house until y'all come home, okay?
That's true.
Then you're just the court jester.
Yep. Then that's usually the time I go to the barn and disappear.
In the bar?
Barn, not bar.
Oh, right. Because that's our argument for why turtles are okay, because we don't go to the bar, right, guys?
Yes. Yes, we don't have liquor tabs.
That's right.
That's right.
Just drink turtle water instead.
I have a great
Yes. That sounds like a good way to get diarrhea.
I could digest a Buick. Speak for yourself.
You know, I'm going to take you up on that in a couple weeks. I'm going to have you drink dirty turtle water.
Oh, I thought you were going to feed me a
You do
Buick.
it with a straight face.
Hold on. Bring somebody. I think your enclosures are probably cleaner than mine. Bring turtle water with you. I don't want to drink my turtle water.
I'm pretty sure the TSA will not let me bring like a glass thing of water. They'll be like, what is this?
The Turtle Survival Alliance won't let you bring water?
No. Not the
Wrong
turtles.
TSA.
Come on. Wrong TSA.
That's another one that non-turtle people get me on all the time when I say TSA or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, those are the people that frisk you, right? And we're like, no.
If you really have a turtle that they want, they will frisk you.
I think that guy that came in from Canada probably got frisked pretty good. I don't think it was by TSA, though. I had his turtle sneak to his legs.
Yeah, Kai. No, what was his name? Kaiju. I don't remember.
Quan something? I don't know.
He's a good friend of mine.
I heard that.
Sarcastic.
I heard you're pretty good friends with a guy that went down to Louisiana and things went bad to worse.
Ah.
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
There
I'm not
was an
pleading.
article written about him that you have yet to send me.
Oh, that article.
Whoa,
Great.
bada bing, yeah. Well, I forget, Steve. You got to remember all the time.
That's true. There's a great article in the Tortoise magazine that's by our good friends at the Turtle Conservancy, whose hat I'm wearing tonight. Free plug.
Bada bing.
You're welcome. And yeah, my daughter loves those books. I have a whole bookshelf with I have so many turtle books all over this place. And for some reason, she just has to go and take, you know what I think it is? It's because there's 5 different volumes and they're all different colors, but they're the same book. So she gets excited about the fact that there's different colors. She's 2 years old.
Yeah.
Talking about a 16-year-old daughter or anything. That would be weird.
Well, you know. There could be worse things at 16 to be into.
Right? It's just like us. Could be out at the bar.
Be out of the bar with a fake ID.
Right.
Don't worry. In 15 years, you're going to be calling me about those episodes, and you'll be like, I don't know what to do.
You'd be like, I don't care, I have boys.
Yeah. I don't care. Your daughter's with my son, so I don't care.
Damn. Stinks. Oh, we're gonna talk about it.
Oh, it'll be all right.
Oh,
So let's see. What else can we talk about this? This is an interesting dynamic
right.
because my wife really, prior to me, she probably knew what turtles were. She had no idea like the diversity of any of them, the value of any of them, like where they come from, any of this import-export stuff, quotas, let alone that there's like people that are really into this. She thought, I don't know what she thought. She probably thought I was nuts. And,
Yep.
you know, she might be spot on. Who knows?
That's what she liked and feared about you.
We might be nuts, but the turtles aren't necessarily why.
True.
That's so bad.
What kind of dog is that?
It's a Karen Terrier.
Okay.
Like Toto from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Fierce. Fierce.
Excellent choice in dog. Which of course is sarcasm because they hate turtles.
Yeah. Rodent monsters.
Which one is that?
It's Gus Gustafson.
Gus?
I see books where people use their Boykin Spaniels to go and find dogs. To find turtles. And hi, buddy. And I get really jealous. He loves me, but he's worthless. Oh, Steve's going to get the boxer.
Good.
Hold on, you're going to make my buddy feel inferior over here.
Don't worry, guys. Boxers have the worst gas.
That's true because they're brachycephalic.
It's true. This is Duke.
Is that what it's called, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Dookie?
What do you think?
Okay, so Steve squared.
That's what I prefer, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what they prefer.
How do your wives feel about you being on your technology devices 24/7 because of the turtle hobby? So now, are you on Turtle Forum, Tortoise Forum, Facebook, email, and all text messaging at the same time about Spangler Eye?
There's important things going on.
It's
FOMO.
you know, it's not the turtle relatedness of the technology device. It's just that's probably just that being on the phone too much is probably the biggest. Communicating with other people, regardless of what it's about, is probably her biggest pet peeve or whatever. And so that's why, we've got that, Friday night thing where, Friday night to make sure that I'm not really talking to other people via the phone, and at a minimum Friday nights each week. So that's the one thing that helps a little bit to take care of
You
that.
want the dog back? Okay. My wife does not like me being on my phone because I'm just on the Facebook groups and texting Anthony and sometimes Steve. And I used to be on forums. I gave those up just because they're forums. That's dead technology.
Yeah.
He puts his nose
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't
air.
frequent the forums very much anymore. Every now and then I'll drop over there when it looks like I'm needed.
My wife used to think that apparently I had an obsession with Anthony, and that may or may not be true.
It's true. It's definitely true.
Man,
Can you blame you?
I mean,
What do you think?
let's see. I don't know. Maybe she might have thought that there may have been some infidelity just because I was on my phone so much.
With me still? Are we still talking
Fair,
about me?
fair. And she says fair, so hey.
Wait. Are we still talking about me?
No, not you in general, just like specifically. It's just me being on the phone all the time. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
straight up.
I thought
And it's not because I'll flat out be the one to say, hey, one woman is more than enough. Thank you very much. And, I'm pretty lucky. My wife, she really lets me do just about anything I want.
so. For all the for this is an important question for all the youngsters out there to hear, and for all the elder folks who want to laugh at the youngsters and what they have to go through. When you're into something like this, when do you tell the person you're dating how crazy you truly are and how weird your hobby truly is? How long into the relationship does that happen, and how long did that take you?
I think first date, bad idea. You'll never ever talk to that person again.
I agree.
Maybe you're the third or fourth date, like you start talking about hobbies, and say, hey, I'll show you a little something that'll blow your socks off. You never would have thought that this ever existed.
Wait, is he still like about turtles?
Yeah, third.
Hey. This is G-rated. G.
Oh, you were making a joke. You're funny. That was good.
Come on, Anthony.
I'm embarrassed. I got to catch up. I'm still reeling after I thought your wife thought you were being that you were cheating on her with me. A better way to put that. Sorry. I'm not. I'm off my game. So for Shannon and I, being social workers, we were at an event, and one of the people that we help, who was kind of like a mutual, a person that we both knew because they used both of our services, I should say. We had just met, and I'd spoken to her on the phone before, but had never met her. And this was the moment we met. We were sitting down talking, and I'm trying to be cool, play it cool, trying to mac it a little bit. Here's this girl sitting listening to me talk. So I'm going to try to, play the game a little bit. Definitely tell her about basketball. Definitely tell her about stuff that's, cool.
But don't tell her about turtles.
Oh, yeah. I'm saving the turtle thing. I'm not telling her until we're engaged, bro. I'm not telling her ever. I'm not going to that one for a while. But the woman knew, because everyone knows me as the turtle guy, and she said, "Oh, did you tell her about your turtles?" Oh boy, that feeling that I got in that moment.
She said, "Is that code? Is that code for something?"
Quite embarrassed. I had to explain my way out of that one, which is still ongoing. Yeah, which is still ongoing. But the good news was, once the dust cleared and she was still around and interested in this guy, don't ask me how, it was better off because then she already knew early on and I didn't have to worry about it anymore. And I can now say, you knew from the very beginning. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dogs are fighting.
I don't think the turtle thing is probably that much big of a deal for my wife, just because it's not just turtles. We've got all sorts of animals. I've been around livestock. I've been around exotic cats, snakes. She's not a fan, by the way, of snakes. We no longer have any.
Yeah, that's Lisa's least favorite. It would be a snake. No way we'd ever have one of those in the house.
I mean, I've been around swine, and she smelled me after I've dealt with pigs. I've been around research rodents, all sorts of stuff. So, after you see all that, well, turtles, it's probably not so bad.
Yeah. Except when they're smelly.
Yeah, except when they're smelly. Right now we have chickens in the basement. True story. She didn't like that either. Understood.
I have chicken in my basement too in the freezer. Just kidding.
Well, I mean, you could eat these, but you might be considered a baby killer if you did.
Because they're chicks.
So, yeah, I guess the smell thing she's kind of peculiar to that. And I can't blame her. I mean, but then again, if Anthony and I have been around it, we might not smell it.
It's a good point. I say the probably the best thing in our relationship, and not just with the turtles, is that my wife has a really poor sense of smell. I have a good nose. And I usually get really upset when my animals, if an enclosure doesn't smell all right or something, and I'll usually go and investigate and try to figure it out to remedy like right away. Whereas I'll tell her like, I'm sorry, it smelled down there. I cleaned this enclosure or whatever. But, they knocked over their food and then it started to smell. She's like, oh really? I was down there today. I didn't smell anything. Like,
Nice.
checkmate.
So
I didn't get so lucky on that front.
Yeah, definitely.
Lisa's nose is especially sensitive to bad smelling things.
Yeah, that's rough.
I could identify what somebody's drilling, half a mile away.
Can't we all?
right.
Meanwhile, she has no idea somebody's even grilling. But then when it comes to that stuff, I'm like, what? You really smell something? And she's like, my goodness, it's terrible.
I love your impression of her. That was really good.
It's not really a good impression, but.
So, Shannon, how did you fare during the great cockroach explosion when they decided to voyage? Or do you not know about that?
Nope.
Oops.
Yep. That's really good. This just got too good. Well, I thought that was one that she didn't need to know of because I took care of it. So,
When was that, Steve?
Let me look at my cell phone and I'll tell you.
I deserve that. Do you know when? Do you remember when Nikki helped me? Nikki's my cousin. Do you remember when he helped me bring the enclosures out and dump them? Because there were bugs in the soil?
High school?
Yeah. Like it was a few years ago in the winter.
Oh.
Yeah. So we went and dumped them out because there was stuff living in the soil. Stuff.
So I get this text and maybe a frantic phone call. He's like, I got these bugs. And I was like, what do you mean bugs? He's like, I think they're roaches. What do I do? And I'm like, what kind of roaches? Well, I think they came from the dirt or something when I got these animals. And I was just like thinking,
So bad.
oh my. Like, if these are German cockroaches, you are a dead man. But I guess they were tropical and, you didn't know about it till now. So no harm, no foul, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
they'll be foul.
Well, now she knows about it, so I'm good.
You can beat me up in a couple weeks, Anthony.
No, remember when I said I wanted to renew my vows? That's a one-sided desire at this point.
So, Steve, Enders, real quick question. You said that Lisa has a sensitive nose to bad smells,
Yes.
and she's willing to let Anthony stay there again in a couple weeks.
Bada bing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
You have a habit of blowing up bathrooms, Anthony?
yeah.
I
I'm a
think
large-
she was just referring to the overall smell, but
No,
Yeah.
I was talking about the bathroom.
we burn candles in the house. It normally helps.
Okay.
Thanks, though, Steve. I
I
appreciate
can
it.
send him with some poo-poo spray or whatever that stuff is called.
Poo-poo spray.
What's that stuff called?
Poo-pourri.
Yeah,
Potpourri,
potpourri, right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do I know that?
Because you're Duff Goldman. Full circle. Full circle. Yep. I like it. I'm gonna think about you every time I see him now.
Okay.
I want to tell you one last story. It's really important. There's a spot up here, and it's another one where she was pregnant. This is so bad. I'm such a bad person. There's a spot up here for spotted turtles. It's amazing, pun intended. Spot up here, and it's beautiful. It's an old cranberry bog, and it's a wonderful habitat for them. I actually wrote about it in the most recent, or it was published, an article that I wrote about it in the most recent Radiata magazine, the German magazine. And it's a beautiful place, and you go and you can just see spotted turtles all over. It's amazing. And I like to go there sometimes. I'll just, go and check things out. I was begging Shannon to go with me when, like, if it's a nice day, I'm just thinking about the spot, like, oh, I bet they're basking right now. I'd love to go and see. So we're out shopping, and she's probably too tired, but I've been asking. So she decides to be sweet and let me do it. So we go out, and for some reason, it was like the snake apocalypse. It was like snakes on a plane without the plane or Samuel L. Jackson. But
Were
other
they
than that,
water snakes?
what's that?
Were they water snakes or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was unbelievable how many there were. There had to have been.
Probably come right out of hibernation, and they were just soaking up the rays.
It was unbelievable. There had to be over 100 snakes,
Yep.
at least. Really, and there was one snake that was swallowing a snake that was the same size as it. That was a really weird one. I mean, they were just everywhere in piles of them, where there's like 5 snakes on top of each other, and they were big. They're large snakes. And she was pregnant at the time. Needless to say, of course. And yeah, that was probably that one really stung because like you want to have a good experience when you go out and do something like that for the first time, so that she wants to go back. Like you see a turtle and you get a nice picture and you get a nice frozen yogurt afterwards, and then it becomes like a nice memory in the story of our relationship that you can revisit and enjoy again. But now, like, I can't go to this place that I love because my wife has PTSD because of it. That was a really bad moment. You guys don't have to comment.
Silence.
Yeah, you guys don't have to comment.
All right, so we have a couple questions here from the audience. So Anthony and Shannon, your favorite tortoises. Obviously, each of you has a different one, but
Obviously.
I mean,
Is it obvious?
I love the spider tortoises, but I really love our leopard tortoise, Lenny, because he has a really strong personality and he's really friendly with the girls and sociable. He's more of a social butterfly.
He likes to chase her mother around the yard.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. I would think mine are spider tortoises too. Because I don't know, I really enjoy the way that period that's lasts half the year, and then they have an active period that lasts half the year. So when you have them for years, like we have, you start to get used to that dormant period. When you're new to them, like you it's enough to lose sleep at night because you're worried because they're not doing anything. You're worried that if they're going to come out of it ever or if they're healthy. And but once this time of year comes and they start to wake up, which has literally been like the last week right now, it's so exciting to see them start to put weight on and see them start to get active. And you know that you're replicating things the right way when they're doing this because that's the way that it's supposed to be for them in the wild. And it's just really exciting to know that things are moving, like, naturally the way they should be. And they're cute. And
they're cute.
And small.
And small.
Yep. Like my daughter. Any other questions?
Yeah. Somebody else was asking about the substrate build you use in your land, your land turtle tub setups, Anthony. And I think they were mainly trying to get at the lightweight drainage layer is I think what they were is the answer to their question, but
yeah. So some people, like in Russ Gurley's book, Keeping and Breeding Freshwater Turtles, he talks about using pea gravel. We use something that's even lighter. It's sold by New England Herpetoculture, and it can be used on the bottom because it really lets the water get through. So when we have an enclosure that has holes on the bottom, and you like it's every day or several times a day, they need to be kept moist, not wet. And there you go, where you can buy it. It works really, really well for that, and without flooding your enclosure. Because when you flood the enclosure, that's really messy. No matter what species it is, that's not good for any animals. But but not flooded. And then on top of that, we'll use a mixture, usually a lot of our terrestrial turtle species, a mixture of peat moss and organic topsoil. And then on top of that, cypress mulch or hardwood bark mulch. We bought it at Home Depot for like $2.
I guess I'll throw one other thing up here before we go, since we were talking a bit about, interaction or spouse stories and just kind of how it impacts marriage, etc. This is an interesting, funny book from Anita Salzberg, who's the wife of Alan Salzberg, who lives in New York City, and he runs Herp Digest. But anyway, check this book out if you want some more funny turtle spouse stories.
Shannon, you read that book, right?
Yeah, it's a really good book.
Yeah, Lisa loved it, thought it was hilarious. And it made her feel not so bad about what's involved here.
And helps, I think, the wives feel not so alone. Someone else out there who struggles with the same type of weirdo that I do.
Yeah, I guess that's exactly right. Once we went to Florida, my wife got to meet somebody that I've known for a very long time that has many, 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 many more animals than I do. She's like, whoa, this is real.
Whoa, you're not that bad.
No, whoa, we only have like under 30.
And Shannon,
No, I don't know how many.
that reminds me, one other thing that I wanted to hear your thought on real quick. In my turtle endeavors, we've met two men who probably love more than me. One being Peter Pritchard and the other being Tom Crutchfield.
Very true.
And leave me for them in a heartbeat, I think. And yeah, so did you want to comment on that?
I would say those are like one of my, out of their top 5 turtle experiences, those two would definitely, I don't know which one was which one's higher, but meeting Peter Pritchard was amazing. And most recently with Tom Crutchfield, I think that was more exciting because I had a perception of him, and then I was just totally blown away with the actual person he is and everything he stood for. And he made me appreciate the Spangleri more, because one of the reasons I don't like them is because I don't think they're very cute. And he made a really good point about, if you really appreciate animals, you don't just like the little cute ones. And
That's really cool. I didn't even remember that, and when you say it now, it brings it back. That's really cool. That's what you took away.
I think for like not all wives, but a lot of wives, like I was saying, I think the spider tortoises are really cute, and that's why I like them. But it's not about that. It's more about the turtle and tortoises themselves. So
I guess we can plug that then too. Talking about Tom Crutchfield, keep watching our channel. We have already put up a little teaser video on some of the Crutchfield conversation stuff that we're going to be releasing over the next chunk of time. So just keep watching our YouTube channel for those fun conversations between Anthony and Tom. And Shannon was there, and I think Kevin Minto and his wife were both there as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that myself, actually.
It was great. And of course, the conversation was focused on turtles, which is something, even if you've seen Tom do interviews before or speak before, he's such a good speaker and such a unique personality. He's amazing, and he just blew us away. You'll be able to see it, kind of focus on turtles, which I think will be really cool for a lot of our audience.
In fact, our video production guy, Kevin Minto, just mentioned that April 10th is when the first conversation is scheduled for.
Wonderful. And I'll also say, just really interesting thing, and part of the reason I think why my wife appreciated both of them so much, Dr. Pritchard and Mr. Crutchfield, is because they both were more interested in her than me, which was funny. So I get so excited to go and meet these people. And when I'm doing the interview with Tom, he's looking over at my wife and like kind of making eye contact with her when he's doing the interview. It's probably because of where she was sitting, probably because she's prettier than me. I don't know. There's some reason, but it was really funny. And she mentioned it to me right after. It's like, that is so true. Everybody loves her. We go to the shop, the supermarket. I want to talk to everybody, but I'm 6'8" with a beard and like scary. Nobody ever wants to talk to me. My wife just doesn't want to talk to anyone, antisocial. Everybody goes up to her, wants to be her friend, wants to tell her their life story, things that they shouldn't tell anyone, but somehow she ends up hearing.
That's so weird. My wife is kind of the same way.
But Dr. Pritchard was the same way. All he wanted to do was talk to my wife and my daughter, and I was like, yeah, she went like we were in like the Colonian Research Institute and everything, and I'm picking up alligator snapping turtles trying to pose for pictures and having the time of my life. All of a sudden I realized Dr. Pritchard, my wife, and my infant daughter are gone. Okay, what just happened? And finally I found them. They're inside Dr. Pritchard's house, like going through the magnet collection on the refrigerator. It was amazing. He was just so sweet and so like inviting. And
maybe that's kind of hey, embrace it. Don't hate it. Embrace it.
Yeah, of course.
Experts like that, those people are icons in our world, and they have a lot to share. And just for them to say, hey, the world's a lot more bigger than what you're exposed to, and it kind of brings allure.
Totally agree.
So
totally agree. Here I am all excited because this is my big moment to meet these guys. I'm all giddy to talk about it, and we're just down to earth and excited to talk. My wife, I'm like, her? I just drove over here with her. We didn't talk the whole time. What are you talking to her for? I'm just kidding. That's a joke. We talk all the time. Bad joke.
I mean, I've heard her voice in the background. Maybe I might even spoken to your wife once. Maybe, but maybe
you've definitely texted her.
Oh, that's true. I do remember that now.
Yeah.
I didn't text her about the cockroaches. I just told her today.
And all you needed to know is that there's bugs. You don't need to know what genus they are or whatever. Don't worry. Thanks a lot, Rosie. He appreciates your honesty.
They weren't termites.
Yeah.
I use the credit card all the time and don't tell them.
Case in point, my dog is growling at turtles right now. This is great.
That's Gus.
Down, Cujo. Down, Cujo. Gus, get down, man. What's the matter with you?
Don't worry, Steve. They're just your turtles he's barking at.
Yeah, actually, he is.
That's hilarious.
When they have shell rub because they're not.
Stock tank, Anthony?
What's that?
You still have that stock tank?
What stock tank? The one that.
With the aquatics?
No, not the
No,
one
with the
full.
aquatics. Not the one with the cockroaches. I'm over that. That was 2016. Where you been, Shan?
She's not over that. She's not over that. What? The one that
You
leaked?
just said that you had a stock tank in the basement with aquatics. Now, did you get rid of that?
Well, they go in the pond when it's nice out. They're just here for the winter. There's a lot of stuff down here that's just here for the winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what Gus was growling at.
Yeah, he doesn't like water turtles. They move too fast for him. He doesn't growl at tortoises.
Huh.
Just like my wife. He taught her good. He likes tortoises and hates turtles. Right? Yeah. That's true.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's a wrap. Hey?
I'm satisfied. You satisfied? Any closing remarks? No? Keep turtling?
So I just want to be the moral of the story before you guys got married is that Shannon, you were well aware of this phenomenon known as this turtle hobby before. Okay.
I didn't know it was to this extent, though. It didn't get to this extent until we bought our house.
I've been obsessed.
Right, but
since
I'm
the moment you
saying
met me.
it wasn't like it is now. But either way, Whether it was before when he wasn't as
Whether in his parents' sponge painted room or
exactly. Either way,
I'm not gonna let you live that down, by the way.
I appreciate it.
They painted it after I moved out. I never even painted it that color. I never even did that. But I had to live in it. Well, they painted it when I moved out.
They painted it to shame you. Say, get out.
Man,
Get out.
what a loser.
No, it all works out in the end. You got the girl.
Got the
You
girl.
gotta keep happy. You got a beautiful family. You've got a gal in front that won a trophy.
And I breed cockroaches in my
And you
basement.
breed cockroaches. But, you know, it could always be worse.
It could be worse. I
They could have
could.
been termites.
That's true.
They could be bed bugs.
I could have an omission of the truth come out on live on a live podcast in front of everybody. That could have happened. That's another piece I wanted to talk about because many people with animals sneak stuff into their animal room. I hear about it all the time, and may or may not have done it myself before. So I got a book. That's all.
It's hard to sneak anything into your animal room when your animal room is the dining room and living room.
Yeah, that's a good
Right.
point.
Unfortunately, you guys can't do what we do. You can't, bring a grocery bag in full of brand new clothes and pretend that they're groceries, or a dry cleaning bag with new clothes, pretending it's something you brought to the dry cleaners. You're as lucky as us.
Yeah, you do that though, right?
Right.
Thank you. You're so sweet. She just.
See, admissions.
Oh
That's
my
what's
gosh,
the
you're
best.
so sweet. God, she's the best.
I'll be honest, I've snuck turtles in the house just as much as many, many other things,
Thank you.
all of which cost a lot of money.
Thank you.
Some I've been in more trouble for than others, especially when receipts get found.
That's terrific. Well, that's good. I think we've all shamed ourselves enough. This was a really uncomfortable therapy session, and
Well, you know,
I was able to share it with you guys.
what's always the first step, Anthony? You know this.
Yeah. And
Admission.
here's the problem.
Tell the truth.
Admission.
Well, I think I've admitted a lot today, and I've also.
Don't worry, I'm saving some for when I come out there.
I can't wait.
He admitted and omitted
Yes.
a lot today.
Oh, damn. Thank you.
Bada bing.
Roseanne, you're not invited anymore. Roseanne.
That's fine. I'll save my money and go do something cooler anyways.
Oh, man.
All right.
Or maybe I just come out there and go buy your wife a pair of shoes, since you won't.
Oh, my God. Did you hear this? Your shoes because I won't. Yeah. Don't come here and steal my lady.
No, not steal, just borrow. Go buy her a pair of shoes because you won't. You buy a spider tortoise, but not her a pair of shoes. Let her have a pair of shoes, man.
That's who I was when we met.
I'm just getting yelled at saying, Steve, you better watch yourself. Looks like it's the couch for the rest of the week.
Awesome.
Good thing I like the couch.
Well, let's wrap it up here.
All
Yeah.
right.
It's been an awesome show. I'm happy that you guys were willing to allow my beautiful, talented, and very allowing and appreciating and lovely.
Our pleasure.
Who's not going to divorce me because of the cockroaches? Onto the
There's
show.
still time.
I'm trying to be
So,
optimistic.
next show is Monday, May 8th. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about wood turtles, hopefully, but we'll see.
That would be amazing.
Anyway,
Yeah. Maybe
Steve, I will see you guys in just under 3 weeks at Hamburg, if not the day before. And so for Steve Rosen, Anthony and Shannon Pierleone, and Madalena, who's trying to doze off,
he's sacked.
I'm Steve Enders, and we're signing off. Have a great night.